All right, welcome back. This is Captain Santiago, and we are on the dace here at Winding. Last night, I actually hit a dace trophy in this spot on fly. Very exciting. And I'm starting to think that, I mean, obviously the trophy could have been a little random, but the spot itself seems pretty solid. This is what we've caught here in the last 4 minutes. 1, 2, 3 marker dace. And if you fish for dace before, you'll know it doesn't take that many to add up to at least a decent amount of silver. Always nice to have a spot where dace are active, because when you get them in the cafe, they can really be valuable. And the trick for this spot is we are using flies, although I'm tempted to maybe about noon, if we're still fishing here, we'll look at the weekly and see if there's other baits that we could test out for the dace. But the trick is we've got it at like 40 centimeter depth. I saw somebody posting about this on Discord. I actually haven't seen this spot advertised on VK. So I'm trying a much farther cast here. This is actually where I caught the trophy last night. But today I've noticed, seems like some of these shorter casts are getting a better bite rate. But let's see what we catch here. If this is a dace, it might change my mind again. Yeah, it is, and it's a marker as well. So maybe we can just kind of fish all over this area. But we're at 40 centimeter depth. If you go any more shallow, you're going to catch a higher percentage of bleak. You still might see a few bleak here and there throughout the day. But by putting it 40 centimeter, the amount of dace certainly goes up. You also are going to see some common roach and possibly like hopefully some really small eyed. That's the one thing, I guess a really big roach or a just a small marker eyed could actually break my line off here. There's a roach that's 400 grams. So as you can see, I am using this 1.7 kilo line, size 22 hook, and then at 40 centimeter depth. And as you can tell, we're getting a very nice bite rate. So even if you're just wanting to level up your float fishing a little bit, it seems to me that this is a pretty interesting way to do it. 22 hook. That's I didn't meant to have a I meant to have a clip on there, but we didn't. I was just realizing, oh, we might as well throw the feeders in and see if whether it's on worm or bloodworm, something like that, even if we just occasionally catch something. Oh, this nibble. Hopefully it's not a roach. Oh, it's a little dace. That's cool. All right, let's go short this time. All right, worm. Do we want to go 20? Let's actually go bloodworm. And I'm going to do a little 7-meter clip. Want it to be real close. Little chub. Something else we can get here. So we just opened up fishing with a bolo rod, which I think that's pretty cool. How disruptive would that be to our silver if I just went and like purchased a random bolo rod? It'd be fun though. Definitely would be something different to try. Our float fishing is now at 30%. Catching dace. See what's on this bloodworm. Full perch. I mean, it's worth having these in as long as they don't distract you too much from the float fishing. Like, hopefully you can mostly deal with them while waiting on the the bite on the float. I should have waited just a second longer there. But if we catch a few perch or whatever else off of our feeders, you never know, you might get lucky with another random cafe order. Of course, if you have plenty of red worms, definitely put red worms in. There's another nice dace, by the way. Speaking of which, I think we'll shovel there. So we just got 2 red worms. What if we just test this with red worms? Let's see what's the first thing we catch on red worms here. And bloodworm still doesn't have a bite, but I'm going to do a smaller hook size on the bloodworms. And I might even move it to regular worms. I feel like we might as well be using cheap baits for this right now. Well, all those are cheap baits, but we might as well be using worms on one of them at least. I need to change that first one to a 6 or 7 meter clip. I think it's still on a random non-clipped cast. But, you know, the thing that just does make Bolo a little bit more interesting, oh, fish got away, that stinks, is we could experiment with it. There's more float fishing now at Corey and at Belaya that, in my mind, might justify some Bolo rod fishing. I'll have to think about it. After this video, I'm probably just going to go let Santiago sit at Old Berg overnight, just fish some bream. Maybe if we have a good bream night, I'll justify buying one bolo rod and kind of seeing how that goes. We won't overspend at one time. Uh-oh. I waited too long. Yeah, if that float goes under, we need to just drop what we're doing and grab it. I do wish I had looked at the cafe. Again, maybe at noon we just make a quick run to the cafe and other stuff. It's not like we're very far from town. Another nice dace. We're literally just right there's the bridge. So we're at 75-102. This is not a spot that I have fished a lot at. We're on the opposite side, right here in the top corner of C6. And as far as dace, I mean, I trophied one last night, like I said, but more important than that, like we're just hitting a pretty reasonable bite rate of dace and other stuff if you're into leveling your float fishing. I also think, according to how many like dace over 100 grams you catch, you could make some pretty good silver doing this. Yeah, this is where I'm breaking the rule here. I should really not be picking up these perch and stuff without having the float in the water. Let's see what is available here. By the way, the trophy came in late afternoon. When I caught the trophy. And we're just getting perch here, aren't we? Which isn't, you know, it's not the end of the world. We still have a chance of leveling up our bottom fishing. You never know. We could get a cafe. I do think I want to take off the red worm and just put bloodworm back on. So we've got bloodworm and regular worm. We're going to pretty much just catch perch. We might as well do it with those baits. And these days are so good. Wide-eye, interesting. That's why sometimes it's fun to put bloodworms in. Kind of never know what you're going to get with bloodworms. All right, middle of the day. I'm going to pause the recording just for a couple minutes here while I take care of a couple things, and then we will be back. We'll go look at town, and then I'll also see if the afternoon bite continues to be like the morning was. All right, let's see here. Gibble. This looks like this might be a little bit of everything spot. So it's 1:15. Let's just go check the cafe really quick, and just for fun, I want to see what is in the, how much bolo rods cost. All right, here we go. By the way, so far we've made 48 silver. If you go by price, especially if you're low level, look how big these, I mean, these big dace, how much they're worth. It is incredible. And if you can line it up with hitting these kind of things at the same time, like perch orders, gibble, it is possible we could hit river mussels here. Okay, this is what I was wondering. We need to catch 5 bleak just to like guarantee we're making a little bit more silver. I figured bleak or dace, one or the other would be. So let's see if we can figure out how to target some bleak there. At least yesterday I was catching plenty of them, so we'll see. We might just have to go a little bit more. What we're gonna look at, bolo rods. So if we went to the first bolo rod that has a bonus on there, 25% XP, load capacity 4.9. So we could use this for 685 silver. We could use this, get a little bit more XP, and still, you know, go for small to medium fish. This one gives us a bonus. So for a little bit more, it's about the same load capacity. We get +1 to the bolo rig. So technically should increase trophy possibilities. I feel like, you know, you have to be level 21, but I feel like this is a really good one. 7.9 load capacity. It is considered light, so you get the full 50% to XP. But look at this price jump, 3,000. So it might be worth for, like, if we're getting it for less than 1,000, it opens up some options for us to play around with it at Belaya and Corey. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. It's probably not something I'll do immediately, but it could be fun to play around with it. By the way, I'm thinking I might end up putting a second float rod out here. Try to hit Dace on the main one, and on the second one, try to hit some bleak for that order real quick. I don't like want to completely stop with the another perch. What size hook are we using? Let's go to 20 and worm, I guess. Just thinking about that gibble and that perch order. It might be nice if we get a little bit bigger ones. All right, really quick. Let's check records. Weekly. Are bleak even from here? I bet they're not. There's so many places that bleak have been hot lately. Yeah, look at all the mosquito. We could try pearl barley though. Dace might be from here. Yeah, dace are from here. Pearl barley. Ooh, look at that pearl barley. For bleak, we want to go 24. We want to be completely at the top here. Like there's a fish on again. All right, this is going to be interesting to try to do both of these. Put that down. And let's just go a little farther out with this one for fun. And we catch this fish and cast it out before something else happens. Oh goodness. Might be a cafe order. All right, I think they're both getting bites. This one went all the way under though. This one did too, but no fish on. All right, is this dace? Nope, common roach. We could also try maggot or bloodworm. But let's try this a little bit longer. Bite rate should start picking up on both fish species as we move into a little bit into the afternoon. All right, let's try bloodworm at the top. See what, if anything, happens. Guess we could just put fly at the top. Oh, that's really short. Yeah, there's got to be an easier way to do bleak, huh? Oh my goodness, y'all see that? It was definitely not a bleak or a dace. Little roach or something running away from it. Well, the dace have kind of died off. Are we getting that like weird thing where if you have too many floats in the water, it changes your bite rate? Got it. Oh, come on. All right. Let's just try this by itself real quick, see what happens. Because that's the thing about bleak bite, is it happens so quick. Like, let's see if this is bleak. No, dace. Nice dace as well. And the dace are strong in this area. Remember, this is even at the top, where you would expect more bleak to hang out. So if you don't have fly, goodness, just go bloodworm. Maybe just go bloodworm either way. Although, I don't know. I did awfully well here last night on fly. Another big dace. That's another like 9 silver dace or 8 silver dace. Look at this bleak. Goodness. Kind of perfect with 2 rods. Having that 3rd rod in the water, even though it was a feeder and technically I should just be able to ignore it, it was kind of throwing me off just enough. One's getting a nibble. Roach. And roach. Gonna put pearl barley on there, just see what happens. Speaking of roach, oh, I picked up the wrong one, but we got it in time. Full dace. Oh, swinging back and forth. Well, I guess if you want to do the bleak order, you can try to be patient here, but there's probably countless places on this map that you could do that bleak order maybe a little more quickly and a little more easily. But the nice thing about this spot are these dace. Another nice one. Look at that dace, 108 gram. Boy, that fish auto hooked. What is that, a sleeper or perch? Perch. Oh goodness. All right, now it's like a little later, the bite rate's almost too good. I'm gonna get this out of the water. I thought there was a fish on there. Doesn't matter. But we need to get that out of the way. Full perch. So the fly seems to dodge the perch for the most part. And at 40 meters depth at least, except for the occasional roach, I'm mostly catching dace, which is just so nice. Mostly I mean, I cannot believe the bite rate. Like, if you're wanting to level up float fishing and have a chance of maybe trophying a dace, You could do a lot worse of daytime fishing. Like, one of my favorite things to do is find really good spots for daytime either float or spin fishing, and then just a really nice either crucian gibble, rough, bream. There's countless examples, but really nice nighttime fishing. And when you can start pairing those together, and don't worry about having to switch maps. If they're good spots, it's always worth switching the map for daytime and nighttime. Now, there's plenty of opportunities to do good daytime, nighttime fishing on the same map. But like right now, if you wanted to go do bream at Old Berg at night, and then hit dace during the day here, you're leveling up 2 types of fishing, and you're making really, really consistent, I think, good silver, especially if you're lower level. I think in this kind of situation though, like, I do want to prioritize the fly line, because we're not really catching dace anyway, so the first line is on average a lot more valuable than the second line. Hmm. Hate to see it. Oh, nice one. Other days. Oh, we got it. Thought it might have been too late. $74 dace. Get a couple more decent days here, hopefully. Right? Did that just say 31? Wow. Already up to 31% on float. How many fish have we caught? 68 fish. Some of those were bottom feeders, but a lot of them were float. $31.2. We're just gonna go a couple more minutes here. Something very enjoyable, just doing a day of float fishing, especially when you haven't done it in a while. Seeing what you get in a rhythm. I think flies are in stock here, though I think I have to buy like 300 of them or something. But I probably will. What is it, maybe 100 silver for 300 flies? Totally worth it. We've gone through about 44 flies. And I don't know how much we've made off of the flies themselves, but we've done pretty good. And, you know, if we ever decide to really go for frog at mosquito, we'll need a lot of flies. All right, it's after, what is that time? 9? So it's almost like legit nighttime here. Let's see if we can catch one more fish here. Oh, you're kidding me. Not fish for one more fish, catch one more fish, right? That looked like a nice dace, but it's hard to tell. So many of these fish, roach and dace and several others, kind of look similar. Even like gibbles sometimes look. Not that that was likely a gibble, but oh, such healthy dace, huh? 131. What's the biggest one we've caught? 177. That was the second biggest one all day, actually. But 40 centimeter depth seems to be key to the consistent bite rate off and on all day. On dace, like pretty much zeroing in on dace. Not that the bleak were very active this day at least, but they have potential to be. And then if you get at the wrong depth, you can find yourself catching like tons of common roach. So I think 100 and above, somewhere around 100 is like a cutoff where the amount of silver it's worth jumps a bit. I love how these little, is that a gudgeon? Just kind of push that float up a little bit. All right. Surely that's a sign, right? We caught a random gudgeon. Okay. just never caught the bleak, did we? Never caught the bleak. I actually don't think, other than the perch, which that does give us 10.8 silver. I mean, that is nice. $131. That's a good day float fishing. Now we could go hit the night fish. All right, as always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about Bolo. I'll catch you later.